here we are. Welcome to the Baco Motorsports Power Hour. I'm Mike Griffith, longtime Bakersfield, Californian sports writer, and long time as the dearly departed Louis Amistoy like to poke fun at me because I'm fairly old. So anyway, here we are with another show, probably our 103rd, 105th. We've kind of lost count somewhere, so we missed our 100th. And we've got the American flag here because we love America. We love debates. We love debating racing more than anything, though. So I've got a couple guests here early. I've got Buddy Shepard to my left. How you doing, Buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Buddy's doing really good because he's missing English at Centennial High School, so he's very happy right now. And we've got his dad, Dick Shepard, here to my left. And they're going to be filling in this segment and next segment for Steve Hughes, who is missing. He raced in a mini stock race last week, and all of a sudden he couldn't make the show this week. So we'll talk about him more in the next segment, poke some fun at him. So anyway, we've been covering racing at the Californian for a long time, much longer than I've been alive, probably about as long as Dick's been driving, since the early 1900s. And of that, last year we came up with a fast trip all-area team. And got a little thing here. We had a broadsheet section, had 50-some drivers last year in it. And we're going to do this again this year thanks to the good folks at Fast Trip. Going to publish on December 17th, and pretty much loosely, if you win a couple races on a drag strip, because they do less racing than the oval guys, you're automatically in. If you win 3 races on an oval, you're automatically in. Track champions are in. Big races, like if you win the October race at Kern County Raceway Park, or the Bud Nationals at Bakersfield Speedway, that's a big win. You're probably going to be in automatically. The March meet, obviously, or the Hot Rod Reunion, automatic qualifiers. So that's kind of how we do it. Good behavior kind of counts. Maybe some big races out of town. I'm not following the out-of-town races as much because it becomes very difficult to track every track around. So that's kind of how we do it, and hopefully we don't leave anybody that's deserving out of it. And so we usually start this portion with some national news, and we had plenty of that this weekend because the NASCAR guys were in New Hampshire, and Kevin Harvick at Bakersfield came away with the win. And when it comes to burnouts, I don't think there's anybody in NASCAR does a better burnout than Kevin Harvick. What say you, Buddy Shepard?
Oh, yeah. I mean, sure is one heck of a driver, so he should celebrate how he wants to after the race.
And he celebrated Sunday by burning the left rear tire off of it. Pretty good burnout, I must admit. Took Keelan into victory circle with him. And what this does, and there he is. He's very happy because he won. He advances to the next round. So what'd you think about that race, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, he wasn't a contender till about the last 20 or so laps, and they don't call him a closer for nothing.
No, and you get there, and it's funny. He started 19th, didn't have a good qualifying at all. Had problems getting car through tech. Was late out for qualifying, but he quickly gained positions because he had to go to the back, I think. And he quickly gained positions, and he was just marching the field. So he was running the top 10 from halfway point on, but not challenging for the lead. He was up there a couple of times on restarts late in the race. And he's a couple of times he was on the outside groove in the second row, I think, which he thought was preferred, or on the inside in the second row, and it just funneled up in that one groove racing, 1, 2, 3, 4, and fourth. And then they had that last restart with 6 laps to go, and he was on the inside and got a great start. How do you explain that, Dick?
Well, actually, Matt Kinza said it really good after the race. He said he really messed up. He let Kevin roll in on him, and Matt was really a sitting duck. He got kind of overexcited, spun the tires, and he was really done. I mean,
it looked like Kevin laid a little bit back and timed it just right on the gas, and Matt had to hit it, spun the tires, and Kevin got a good run down low, which nobody had all day, got in front, and once he was in clean air, there's no catching him.
Yeah, King in the front there, air is king. You know, I mean, it makes your car turn so much better, obviously, as we all seen, but the outside on the restarts was always the best out there on that track, and Kevin he's one of the best starters there is of all racing, and he just laid down a good strategy right there. It was awesome what he did.
Yeah, and you had the privilege of racing against him years ago.
Yes, I absolutely did.
Yeah, how was that?
It was really good. You know, he was good back then. You know, he was really good on the starts. One thing about him back at Mesa Marin, he drove every lap like it was the last lap. And one thing I did learn from him is when his car wasn't handling very good, he'd hook that left front tire on the inside of the berm. Because there was a pretty big berm down there, edge of the blacktop out there at Mesa Marin, and once I followed him enough, I learned all that, and I used that to my benefit from
Yeah,
that point
and
on.
that's something that Ron Hornaday did as well out there quite
Absolutely.
often, and won a lot of races doing
Absolutely
just
right.
that.
Mhm.
It get you through that, especially that turns 3 and 4. I think it was more pronounced there, but it just seemed to be a good way to get through the corners there at Mesa Marin.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you get that, and Harvick's with the wind, he counters the bad luck at Chicago where he got stuck a lap down and couldn't get back on the lead lap. So you got the win, breathe a sigh of relief, goes to Dover. Might as well go for another win because you're guaranteed to move on now.
Absolutely. He'll probably use that for a good test session because now he's locked in. So they got something they're playing with right now. I would imagine that they're going to really try it this next week.
So you got that, and we got a slide here. Casey Mears, not a very good day. Long green flag run early on. You get a lap or two down, and that's what happened there at New Hampshire. There were cars a lap down quickly there because the fast guys are very fast there. And so he soldiered to a 27th place finish. This was the original order when they started the Chase 2 races ago. And now we have the updated standings. Of course, Martin Truex won at Chicago. Kevin Harvick won at New Hampshire. You got Brad Keselowski, looks pretty good there. We get down to 12th. Well, actually, with 12th, because we're going to have 12 advanced. Kyle Larson at 257, and Jamie McMurray and Austin Dillon just 5 points back. Probably the only guys with a real shot, maybe Tony Stewart. But right there, you've got to finish 6 positions above Kyle. Tony Stewart's got to finish 11 positions above Kyle because it's a point a spot. So you can look that Kurt Busch looks pretty safe there. So who do you think is going to make it, buddy?
Oh, man. It'd be cool to see
Is-
Kyle Larson getting the last one because he's just one heck of a race car driver.
And there you go. Kyle Larson's going to hold on. So we have that. And also we have, we'll go on to the next slide. The Xfinity Series now has a chase for the championship for the first time. And it involves 12 drivers and 10 races. So a few less races, but it's the same format, 3 races, and then they eliminate 4 drivers, 3 races, eliminate 4, and you get down to 4 drivers running for the championship at the end of the season. Ryan Reed of Bakersfield, a great finish there at Kentucky, finished 7th, ran in the top 10 most of the day, restarted, I think that last restart around 10th or 12th, but got up there. You had an accident right there toward the end. He got through that clean, 7th place finish, and 4th in overall points. So a heck of a day for Ryan. You've never raced Ryan, did you, buddy?
No.
Yeah. So, and Dick raced, did you race Ryan's dad?
Absolutely.
Mark.
Yeah.
So you raced against
Absolutely.
Mark. So goes back. So this is a good thing for Ryan, but we got the points here. If you look at the points for the Xfinity Series, he's going to have to be good and clean. 2,034, if we take the top 8, is 230, so that's obviously only 4 back. Eric Jones is real close. Ryan's still close. Brandon Jones and Ty Dillon, accidents, got into a wreck there, and so both those cars capable of winning. And once again, it's like anything else. You win, you're in. And so they're at Dover again this week. So what are you looking for there, buddy? You don't get to watch the Xfinity Series very often, do you? Because you're at the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, they sure do put on one heck of a race when they get after it. But Eric Jones is probably going to be the one to watch here coming towards the championship, towards the closing end of it.
Yeah, and right now it's looking like he's going to want to win because the win's going to guarantee it.
And it was Eric Jones and Ty Dillon got together last week, too, didn't
Right.
it? I remember seeing that on ESPN News.
Yeah, so they got together, and they're both now at the back, and both of them want wins.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Dover is going to be interesting. Like I said, for Ryan Reed, idea top 10, stay clean. If he can finish in the top 10, he's probably not going to be hurting points. At one point, I think all top 10 drivers were chase drivers.
Wow.
When I was watching, or 8 of the top 10.
I didn't realize that.
And it was 10 of the top 12 were chase drivers, so they're all really close there. Also, in addition to that, the NHRA has its chase going on, so they race for the second race weekend in a row. And Chris, could you show that video of the Top Fuel and Funny Car finals?
Langdon just beat Tony Schumacher via a baby hole shot. For Langdon, his first win here at Gateway, the 14th career win for him. And that puts Sean Langdon in exclusive territory, tied with the late Gary Ormsby. The Snake, Don Perdome, and Top Fuel race wins. Margin of victory, a little bit more than 100th of a second. And Sean Langdon cut a great line at 0.32.
You know, coming into this race, I saw the writing on the wall for Sean Langdon, and that's what happens to good drivers. They feel like they've been beat up and stepped on. He was able to get out of the starting line ahead of the Army car, and both the tuners did exactly what they wanted. They left.
And there you have it. You got Sean Langdon got a whole shot over Tony Schumacher. And we go to the funny car one here.
Fast, Jack Beckman gets the win against Tommy Johnson Jr., his 24th career win. And for Jack and Jimmy Prock, it's a weekend that didn't start with perhaps as much promise as it finished. Jack Beckman is now moved into third in the funny car standings with that win.
Well, a slight advantage for Jack Beckman
Hey,
in the
Chris,
right
you
lane.
can come out of that. So here we go. We've got Sean Langdon beat Tony Schumacher in a whole shot, so you can't. And it wasn't Tony wasn't sleeping on the light. It was just a great reaction time by Sean. And Jack Beckman, who's been struggling lately, gets back in, beats Tommy Johnson, who won the previous week in Charlotte. Those guys are going 3 straight races now because they head to a race next weekend, and that's just got to be wearing on the team there. In Anton Brown still leads the top field chase by 13 over Doug Coletta. In funny car, Ron Capps has a 48-point lead over Tommy Johnson. Round wins are worth about 20 in NHRA. In Pro Stocks, first time in the finals for Alex Laughlin, who did not make the chase, and he comes away with the win. The Summit cars were eliminated earlier, which is unusual, but Jason Lyons still holds a 63-point edge over Greg Anderson. And in Pro Stock Motorcycle is Louisiana riders. Jerry Savoy, a Gator farmer, beat Angel Sampé, who red-lighted, but Angel is now only 2 points behind Andrew Hines. So some close racing there in that. And
Jack Beckman, right there.
yeah,
This guy named Joe Castro, who led his buddy's race car, he goes by Dragster Joe, and that's a very good close friend of Joe Castro. Used to race against him back in the day.
yeah. Jack's a veteran, and you just came up through the regular drag racing, the sportsman racing,
Absolutely.
the Super Comp ranks.
Super Comp, that's what
Super
Joe
Comp
Castro
is
used
what
to
he
race
used to
against him.
race, and he's a friend of Famoso and a big historian on drag racing. If you want to talk about the history of drag racing, talk to Jack Beckman.
Yep.
But we're going to talk a little bit about Kern County Raceway Park and get Buddy Shepard to say more than boo when we come back in a minute with the Kern County Raceway Park segment.